So in this demo, we're going to go over motion tracking in After Effects. So we're going to create a new composition for my footage. I'm going to use the iTrim video. Open. So now we have a new composition. I'm going to rename it so that it's clear that this is our iTrack comp. And then our footage is iTrim. So let's see. The first thing I'm going to do is change my workspace to motion tracking. So up here on the right, we're going to hit the double arrows and shift to motion tracking. So you'll see that that's now opened our, we need to open our video layer on its own. So I've double clicked on the footage and it's opened here. Great. So the next thing that we're going to want to do is if we go over here to our tracker panel, there's a number of different things and ways you can track motion. For our purposes, we're going to be doing the track motion. So when I click that, it adds a track point to our window. And this will change depending on what you're tracking. You move your mouse around until you have the option to actually move the tracker. So for this eye, I found that it's most effective with a large, this is the search window, the outer box, and then this is our target window. So this seemed to work well for me. The larger the search window, the slower the track. So that's something that it will take to actually track it, to keep in mind. So with that selected, the other thing I'm going to do is go in and change the options. So there's a couple things you can do. You can name this the iTrack. That can be kind of helpful. You're going to leave the channel the same. And something you might want to do is hit stop tracking if it's the confidence is below 80. So this is sort of like built into After Effects. It's what it runs. It evaluates how well it thinks it's doing on each frame. And so this will send this is like an algorithm saying, if my confidence is below 80, what do I do? So we can go into adapt feature or extrapolate motion. We're going to do stop tracking today for our demo. And I'm going to say, okay. And then I'm going to go in, I'm going to hit analyze forward. And it will run sort of slowly. I will probably speed through this point. Okay, so it looks like it's stopped, and I wonder why. I believe it stopped because I blinked. So if I zoom in here, you can see these are all the little points that it's made, little keyframes for the tracking of the motion. If I open up my footage down here, you can see that now there's a motion tracker. There's our iTrack, and there's the track points. So feature center, confidence, attach point. So you can see here, if we zoom in, these are all little keyframes it's made for the motion. So each one corresponds to a keyframe. Those are all looking cool and good. It's following, and then I blink and it goes wacko. So I'm going to drag to delete. I'm gonna have to zoom in even more. This last keyframe. Boom. And then what I might want to do is do this part manually. So with this selected, with this track point selected, if I move this, you can see it makes a new keyframe here. So I'm just going to do that manually for a moment until my eye opens back up again. So that looks fine. Fine. And if you want it to stay in the same place, you don't need to make a keyframe. So I'm feeling totally good about that. So let's have it start from here. So I've put my playhead from where I want it to start from. I have my track selected. It's on iTrack up here in my tracker window, and I'm going to say, well, maybe we'll set one there, and then we will analyze forward. Great. So now it's making additional tracks. We can't see them while it's analyzing. So it looks like it's kind of lost it a little, so I'm going to stop actually, and let's see how we've done here. So we've opened it, and this all looks good. But it sort of seems like it starts to get a little off, like right after this point. So maybe something we want to do here is select all of these, and maybe we, I think this works. I don't know if this will work. Move them all over. Maybe it won't work. No. So we can either delete them and start over. So maybe that's what we want to do here. So I'm going to delete these, and I'm going to analyze from here. So it looks like it's tracking a lot better. That might have had to do with the fact that I've started it from a frame where we've returned to the same tracking window here. Like, this is the search area, and the tracker is right around my pupil. I noticed that in the earlier one where it made a mishap, it had some of that little light that was over here in it, so it could have set it off wrong. So it's just gonna run. And you're gonna wait. So that's feeling good. I think I have enough. I'm gonna stop it for the purpose of this demo. I'm gonna scrub through it. I feel like it's looking awesome. So we're going to attach it to two things today. Oops, can't move that up. Great. So I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to create a new null object. A null object is like an empty thing that doesn't show up in your video that you can use as sort of a placeholder, and you can attach other things to it. So we're going to, oops, don't do that. And then I'm going to create a new shape layer, and on that shape layer I'm going to put this little star, which I'm going to put on my eye, and so that's going to be the thing. I might also move the null to be in the same place right now, starting place as the star. Great. So now this is the thing that we want to track the star to the eyeball. We want to attach the star to that tracking data we just created. But we're going to attach it to the null tracker and attach the null tracker to the star. So if I go back into my iTrack track point, I've double clicked on it. It's now open. I can see that that's current track iTrack over here. So that was giving us some grief the other day in class. Now what I'm going to do is edit the target. So I'm going to edit target. I'm going to attach it to that null. I'm going to press OK, and then we're going to press apply. Great. So now if you move it, you can see that our null moves with our eye, which is great. So we're going to attach our star to our null, which we did the other day. We're going to parent. So I'm looking at my shape layer. Shape layer selected. Over here there's a column for parent and link, and I'm going to parent it to the null. Let's see what happens now if I press play.
Right.
So now we have our star moving with our eye. Oh, we didn't track very far. We just tracked a little bit. So
Right.
tracking. Cool. Excellent. The other thing you can do that we went over in class, I'm going to delete this shape layer. You can also track it to certain effects. So I'm going to select my layer, effect, generate, and we did the light rays, I think. So it's added, it's sort of subtle. I'm gonna, oopsies. I'm gonna click here to move it. Let's put it somewhere on the eye. I'm gonna crank the intensity so I can really see it. I like square. Great, so now it's there on our eye. So we're gonna attach it to the tracker. How do we do that? We go into our eye trim, and we're gonna select eye track from the drop-down menu over here. And we're gonna go back into edit target, and we're gonna attach it instead of to the null to effect point control CC light ray center. Okay, we're gonna apply X and Y. And so now, if we hit play, we're back in our composition. If we hit play,
Right.
we can see that it sort of follows our eye. Like, God. It's very short, but you can see where it's tracking. So track, look down, to the left. Cool. So that is motion tracking 101.